Hey guys, Ken from FT86Speedfactory. I know it's been a while since our last video for you guys, but we've got a little project we're excited to share with you guys. We love the FRS and BRZ series so much that we had to go and pick up another one. So this time we went and picked up a black BRZ that had been wrecked. There was some body damage to the driver's side in front of the car. Sent it to a local body shop and got it all fixed up, and we just got it back. So now we can start installing some modifications and parts. Now this is basically going to be the daily driver. So going to do some simple and easy mods that you can do in your own garage or driveway. So let us know what you want to see installed on the BRZ or what modifications you want to see, and we'll get them out to you guys. First things first, we're going to do a kit that we offer on our website that includes the KARTBOY short shifter and MTEC shifter springs. Shifter springs are going to go in first, so let's get this car up in the air. The MTEC springs come in this little package with two springs that are going to replace your OEM springs. This is going to allow your shifter to go back to that neutral position a lot faster. So when you're shifting from second to third or fourth to fifth, it's a lot smoother and quicker. First step is going to be removing this under panel that's covering your transmission. It's held on with 11 10mm bolts, so go ahead and remove that. Once the under panel is removed, you're going to be looking on the driver's side for this nut right here. You're going to need a 10mm Allen key to remove that. Once you have that nut out, you're going to need a magnet or a pick of some kind that is hooked at the end to grab the stock spring out of that hole. Once you have the stock spring out, you can replace it with the same size spring from the MTEC kit. And before you reinstall the nut, it helps to remove the Loctite, so it's easier to get back into place. And make sure you don't cross thread it, and you want to torque it down to 18 foot-pounds. Once you have the spring on the driver's side installed, you can move over to the passenger side, and you're going to be looking for this nut right here. You're going to need a 27mm socket or a 1/116 socket. Go ahead and remove that. Once you have this removed, you can take this piece out right here. And this is the stock spring that you're going to be replacing. So once you have the MTEC spring in there, you can reinstall this into the car. And again, you want to clean up that Loctite so it's easier to get back in place. You want to torque this down to 29 foot-pounds. Got the two nuts torqued down underneath. Haven't reinstalled the under panel quite yet because we're going to be down there in a moment, but I just wanted to say with just the MTEC springs, there is a noticeable difference in the shifter. It's a lot more solid, especially from second to third and fifth to fourth. It's a very nice and smooth motion, so just that alone is definitely a worthwhile mod. But we're going to take it one step further and install the KARTBOY short shifter. Now this is going to allow us to reduce the shift travel by about 30% and overall give us a better driving experience. Now inside the kit is included a rear shifter bushing, so we're going to go underneath the car again, get this installed. We're underneath the car again, and in order to remove the stock rear shifter bushing, we need to drop the drive shaft. All you need to do is remove these two 14mm bolts and let the drive shaft rest on the exhaust. Once the drive shaft is dropped, you're going to be looking for two 12mm bolts that are holding in the stock shifter bushing. One on the passenger side and one on the driver's side right here. Go ahead and remove those bolts and you should be able to pull the shifter bushing off. There we go. Once the stock shifter bushing is removed, you want to grease up your new KARTBOY shifter bushing and then you can install it onto the car. You want the hole angled up towards the car itself so that it is in the right position. You're going to need to use a little bit of force, but it should slide right on there. Once you have that on, you want to use the supplied 12mm bolts to bolt it back into place. You want to torque these bolts down to 13 foot-pounds. Once you have the KARTBOY shifter bushing in place, you can reinstall the bolts to get the drive shaft back into place, and you want to torque those down to 38 foot-pounds, and then you could reinstall the under panel. Now that we have the springs and the rear shifter bushing installed, we can start working on getting the actual KARTBOY short shifter installed. First thing you need to do is remove the bottom side panel right here. All you have to do is pull out on it and you should be able to pop it off. You want to do that to both the driver and passenger side. Once that's off, you want to reach on into the passenger side and pop out the auxiliary connection. Once you have that popped out, you want to disconnect it and set that aside. And then you want to pop off the bottom tray by pushing it on the bottom. And then you should be able to pull that out and you can set that aside as well. Now you're going to remove the e-brake cover. Start from the back, just pull up, and slide that off. Now you want to remove your shift knob, just unscrew that, and we're going to pop the shifter trim off. Now you can use a panel removal tool to pop it off. I'm just going to pull up on it like this. You want to pull up the front first and not this portion right here because you're going to break some clips if you try and pull this up first. You also want to be careful of the connection for your traction control buttons. Once you have this slid off, you can undo this. And set that aside. Now you're going to remove 4 Phillips head screws, 2 in this area right here and 2 down here. And then there's also 2 bolts, 10mm bolts, or you can use a Phillips head screwdriver as well, under the cover down here. So go ahead and remove those. Once those are removed, you can take the whole center console off. Now before removing the whole center console, you want to pull out the cable that's connecting your cigarette lighter or 12-volt power supply here before removing the whole center console. And now you can take this out and set it aside. There's 2 white plastic caps that you need to unscrew. Once those are off, you can remove the shifter cushion. Once that cushion is removed, there's 4 12mm bolts that you need to remove, and also disconnect the harness clip here, and then you can remove this metal trim piece. I'll go ahead and remove this shift boot as well. Now there's 4 10mm bolts that are holding in the reverse lockout plate here. Remove that. You're going to be replacing these bolts with the included Allen bolts that are supplied in the kit. But you are going to be reusing the reverse lockout plate. So set that aside. Now there's going to be a dust cover that's covering the linkage down here. You're going to need a set of needle nose pliers to get that off. It is a bit of a pain, but keep working at it and you should be able to slide it off. Over on the driver's side, there is a clip and washer that you need to remove. Again, a pair of needle nose pliers. Make sure not to lose that washer. And now you can slide the stock shifter off the linkage. Then you can remove the stock shifter. Now there is a small dust boot here that you want to transfer over to the KARTBOY shifter. Now we can reinstall your new KARTBOY short shifter. Now you want to grease up the ball really well and also grease up that linkage with the included grease that KARTBOY supplies. You can pop this in there, pop the linkage into place. Orientation is important, otherwise the shifter is going to be all the way up front here into your controls, so pay attention to that. Now you can reinstall the washer and clip on the driver's side, get everything back together, and we're set. Make sure you're using the supplied bolts when you're reinstalling the reverse lockout plate. And you're going to need to adjust it so it is in the right position. Also remember to replace that dust boot cover over the linkage and get everything bolted up. Got everything buttoned back up, and you can notice right away this is shorter than the stock shifter. And testing it out, the throws are significantly shorter, allowing you to go through those gears a lot more quickly and easily. There's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. One of the best modifications to enhance that driving experience, I would say. Now, let us know in the comment section down below what other modifications you'd like to see. We want to work with you guys on this project car and hopefully build it into the ultimate daily driver. Now, if you want to pick up one of these kits for yourself, go ahead and click on the top right hand corner of the video. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to email us, sales@FT86Speedfactory.com, or give us a ring, 888-885-2002. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on your FRS or BRZ.